I have been laying out a ton of information on this program, and I know it is a chore to keep track of all of it. If you want to follow everything that we're doing here, sign up for my free email newsletter at glennbeck.com. You can do that now. Now, who is Depak Bhargava? Scott Baker from Breitbart TV is the gentleman who originally sent me these clips. Scott, how are you?
I'm doing good, Glenn. And
Okay.
you know what? You said this is a complicated stuff, but the deeper you go on your show, the bigger the audience. Can't figure it out.
You know what? Because I think people, unless you're in Washington, people sense, well, there's something to that. They can see this tree start to go. So help me out on who this guy is, because I'm not even claiming this is a bad guy or anything. Who is he?
Well, you know, when we came across these clips, the ones that you played in the first segment, I sent them off to you right away, because when you hear words like stealthy agenda,
yeah,
that sort of gets my attention. I'm ready to say, okay, well, let's de-stealthify this thing a little bit, if we can.
Sure.
And as you said, he's not a guy that works in the White House, but he's not just a guy either. There are connections between Depak Bhargava and his Center for Community Change and Obama and organizations they've all worked with for a long time.
Okay, what are they?
I mean, it goes back. Well, you mentioned that he worked for Acorn for 10 years. He was at Harvard at the same time Obama was. But we really started to look at, in a piece that we put up on Breitbart TV this afternoon, how your buddy Wade Rathke kind of built the factory for all of these groups to come together in coalition. And it was Depak Bhargava who decided to launch an organization that called the National Campaign for Jobs and Income Support. This was back in 2000. And our BCast show, we uncovered a document that shows that one of the people that was there for the launching event to launch this, what they called the marriage of labor and the poor, was Barack Obama, right? So he was there standing with them. They shared a lot of the same agenda items, right? And they were very supportive. That's why Obama, when he was campaigning for president, went to their event, the one that you mentioned in 2007.
Okay. But that, again, that doesn't mean that they may be, and this is what caught my eye, is they're saying the same things. They're using the same language. Now, if I'm at I could be at and for instance, I received an award from the NRA, I don't know, about a year ago, and there were, I think, 10,000 people there. And I spoke, and there were other speakers. I didn't necessarily agree with the other speakers. However, I will tell you this, that I think if I was sitting there and I heard somebody else using the exact same language, but I knew they were going in a completely different direction, I think I would have said, by the way, that's not the same kind of language. That doesn't mean the same thing to me. Is it fair to say that, Scott?
Well, I was thinking about this when I was driving over. I thought, I knew you were going to play those clips about Obama saying, we're going to have this, fundamental transformational change. That, in a way, that sounds to me like surgery. And if you're going to have major surgery, you kind of want to know who the doctors are. In fact, I think if you're lying there on the table, everybody's got a mask on. I want to know what's going on behind the masks. Who are these people? And I think that it's clear that Depak Bhargava and his groups have been pivotal to being part of the team, right? And that's why at that 2007 event, they said to Obama, after you're inaugurated, will you include us in the planning, in the process of policy? Obama said, inauguration? I'm not waiting for the inauguration. As soon as the transition hits, you're in, right? Okay. So we put in our piece a clip from the transition time where he sends over Valerie Jarrett and sends over other White House staff members to the conference in Washington sponsored by them. They said, hey, we're bringing you guys on. And he did. He's hired, people that are deeply involved in these groups right at the White House. And I think they are the ones that are implementing that stealthy agenda, which is why Depak Bhargava is saying A+ on the report card. This is amazing what you guys have done in 4 months.
Can you give me the C-SPAN clip? This is from December 2008. Here we go. Cut to it.
We are here because the crisis our country is facing demands big and bold solutions, not small and timid ones. The two roundtables today of community leaders, leaders of allied organizations, and policymakers will take on the two great challenges of our time: building a new economy for shared prosperity and expanding our democracy. We will need to move from the politics of protest to the challenge of governing.
What does that clip tell you, Scott?
Well, it says to me that he's not just a guy standing over on the sidelines. When he's standing there at an event with White House officials saying it's time to transition to governing, he means it, right? And that's why I think this is so important. It is important for us to look at the people, because Obama said, if you want to know what I'm about, look at the people around me. Who has he marched with? Who has he worked with? What are they for? Okay. And you played those clips. People should be scared. It's deep stuff.
Okay. Tomorrow I'm going to show you another connection where we do have the connection from this guy to somebody else to Barack Obama. And we'll follow the dots on tomorrow's broadcast. Thanks a lot, Scott.
We're going to go in deep tonight on our BCast show at 7, too.
Got it.
The White House's approach to creating political art. Next.